Been an athlete my whole life. Played, all sports in high school, played college ball, played some arena ball professionally, played in Canada in the CFL. Speed and athletic performance has been basically ingrained in my brain and body, for a long time. And now, I own this performance facility. And the reason why we developed Speed School was because people were actually reaching out to us all over the United States and the world, to be honest. Once we start putting out videos and start helping kids and helping athletes become faster, that gave athletes more opportunity. So just so I can clear this up, there's like 2 versions of Speed School. So like I have like programs that we do for Speed School as far as PDFs. People basically download our program and they a la carte, they kind of do it on their own. But then we also have an in-house Speed School. So not to get those confused, because the in-house Speed School is here and we actually train the athletes in the Speed School here. But we do have programs that you guys can have. And we also have programs where we actually train teams and individuals like this, like we are now. I still train NFL guys away from here, track athletes, the whole nine. But I don't think anybody's actually participating today in the session. If you are, go ahead and get that camera turned on. If you are not, I'll demonstrate. Oh, we got somebody. Okay. Cool. So you can actually go through the movements and kind of do some of the stuff with us? Okay, awesome. Okay, cool. Cool. So Ozzy, do you have any injuries or do you have any pain, any chronic pain?
Second. Sorry, you were on mute. I have no injuries.
Okay.
I'm in the kitchen. Should I go outside?
If you have a little space, that might work a little better. But we can make whatever work. Like if you're in the kitchen, that's where you need to be. What's up?
I have a lot of space. Am I the only one who's participating today?
I think so.
Okay, in that case, I'm gonna turn this off and let's forget this food. I'm gonna go outside.
Okay. Cool.
Not what I expected. I'm sorry.
You
know what? I'll roll with it.
Cool. So no injuries, chronic pain?
Nothing.
Okay. All right, cool. So kind of give you guys a quick rundown. So we will always have dynamics. If you're in-house, we do have a set like dynamic that we do, and we have a short dynamic and a long dynamic. You guys will be doing the short version of the dynamics that some of our programs do here. And I'll walk this, through this with you as well, Ozzy, as you kind of get set up. But we'll always go through dynamics. It's important for me to let you guys know, like, Speed School is based off of fundamentals. I know for you guys, once rugby practice starts, at the beginning of training camp, you hone in on fundamentals. It's important. It's important to dominate fundamentals in order to really, I guess, understand the bigger picture of the sport and the performance. So we will work on running mechanics, working on arm swings, working on the ability to strike the ground with different drills, and also kind of waking up that quick twitch, those quick twitch muscle fibers as well. Those are all, ingredients that we like to kind of put into our training to not only make sure that our athletes are properly warmed up, but also they understand what it takes to be fast and and be explosive. Because to be quite honest with you, running is probably the most under-taught thing that I see on every level of sports performance. So it's important to me that, for us to get this right. But so Ozzy, just me and you, huh? Cool.
Okay,
So,
I was expecting an indoors, just
seminar. This is a little unusual, so I'm not even wearing sports shorts, but I'm gonna go with it.
Hey, no, hey, we can make whatever work. It's all good. Okay. So for quick dynamics, what we like to do starting out is just do something we call straight leg kicks. So if you have space, we like to do this around 10 to 20 yards, but today we can just do it for 10 yards. Or if you don't have space and you're in the garage or something, you can actually stand and just do your straight leg kicks in place. Okay. But we like to walk and kind of be active and start being functional. So you can walk and do about 8 to 10 straight leg kicks, opposite hand to toe.
Okay. Let me do it now?
Yeah. Yep. And so what this is doing is we're just warming up our hips. We're warming up the hamstrings. Like this whole swinging motion, just getting that prepared to get ready to strike and run, okay? So the hamstrings and the glutes are in our posterior chain. This is our gas pedal, all right? These are our gas pedals when it comes to speed and explosion, all right? Our quads, in the VMO, these are our brakes, all right? So we want to be explosive. We have to make sure that we're really getting our hips and our hamstrings and our glutes warmed up to be ready to strike the ground. So we start out doing the straight leg kicks. The next thing we do is we go through lunges. And whenever I teach lunges, I don't like to stop in between. I don't like the little step in between the lunges. We want to keep the glutes engaged. So you want to step, every time you do a lunge, you want to step through to keep the glute and the hip engaged in every single movement. So Ozzy, if you could give me, let's just go 10 lunges. 10 lunges is fine, 10 walking lunges. And remember to practice that good arm swing every time you take a step so we can begin to work on our arm mechanics as well.
Okay.
Cool. All right, so the next one is slide and glide. So basically, this one can be a little confusing, but once you get it down, you'll get used to it. But you're gonna drop your hips in the hole, take that step, and slide and glide like you're kind of going underneath the fence or something. It's like you're trying to go underneath and then come back up on the other side. So what you want to do here is take you 5 sliding glides one direction, and then come back and take you 5 more the other direction. Again, this is just warming up the hips, okay, the groin area, the psoas, the glutes, all of that stuff, just kind of getting it warmed up and getting the muscles moving.
Okay.
That's better right there, Isaac. All right, so whenever you do your slide, that was better right there. The biggest mistake on slide and glide is people kind of take a step and they start lunging, doing like a lateral lunge, but it's not a lunge. You're dropping your butt while your feet are together and then sliding underneath. Right.
Okay.
Kind of making a U with your head in a way. Yep. Cool. All right, so the next thing we do is high knees, okay? So high knees, if you want to be fast, you want to be explosive, you want to warm up your body to be fast and explosive. So my biggest pet peeve is whenever I have athletes here, especially on our linear days, and we're working on explosion and we're really working on speed, don't go through warm-ups like this. All right, that's the quickest way for us to get hurt. We are not ready, or we're not building up a good foundation to be explosive, all right? So when you get ready to do your high knees, make sure you're doing your high knees at full speed, all right? Nice arm swing, striking the ground, being really explosive so you can really work up a sweat. We like to have our athletes sweating, have their body, their heart rate up, being ready to be explosive. So you can do high knees like 5 yards down and 5 yards back.
Well, I hate high knees, just to let you know.
Okay. 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 Hey, Hey, Ozzy, that's good. And I want to give you a teaching point too. I like the knee drive. Love the knee drive. Two teaching points on that would be not to lean back too far and overextend the lumbar here. Our pelvis is off, and then the knee is coming up so high that we're not getting force back down into the ground. So the goal is to get good knee drive, not to come up, but to go down into the ground. So this, we want to turn to be more vertical and get good knee drive to bomb. I'm saying bomb, I'm talking my language in the gym now. To hit the ground, to strike the ground.
I get it.
Right? So good knee drive. Just focus more on striking the floor or the ground or the turf or whatever case may be, because that's what's going to really get us warmed up to actually run. All right, so the next one is butt kicks. All right.
I like those.
So butt kicks is probably the one dynamic that I see that's done wrong the most of any dynamics. So like butt kicks, most of the time, people are going through butt kicks like this. Just go back. See how my heels coming up to my butt, my toes. Yeah. So when you're sprinting, are you ever actually going through this motion? Or are you really going through a motion that looks similar to a high knee, but this is more about that high heel recovery to strike the ground again? So when we're doing our butt kicks, I kind of want to alter it a little bit from a knee pointing to the ground, and see how that quad is going straight down. There's no shelf. Let's get a shelf, little bit of a shelf, and bring the heel up to the butt this way and not like that. So it's just a slight movement on the hip and the angle for where the knee is pointing to make sure that we're getting the butt kicks right. Okay. So let's try it.
Yeah, I've done it wrong my entire life.
You're not the only one.
Anyone has ever told me how to do a butt kick, like you just said.
Yeah.
So, in fact, I can even do it wrong for you. This is the wrong way to do a butt kick based on what you're saying.
Yep, that's it.
No, I think this is the right way based on what you said. Okay.
Yes. Hey, that's it. Now, once you do it more, you'll be more comfortable, I guess, with the path of your foot and the cycle, because it feels really weird when you first start. But once you get it down, it'll be similar to your high knee, very similar to your high knee. So you go from high knee being here to butt kicks really being very similar, but all it's doing is preparing you for dry phase and second phase of striking the ground through a proper run cycle. I don't know why we were taught. I don't know if it was somebody just got lazy and just let the kids do it, and then for the last 100 years, this is what people been doing. But that's not how we teach our butt kicks. And we haven't taught, we've never, once I've figured out the best way or learned the best way, we've never allowed it again. So so that's our, those are our short dynamics, okay? So straight leg kicks, we go through lunges, slide and glide, high knees, and then butt kicks, okay? All right, the next thing we'll do will be on the floor, all right? So I also, just like to share with our athletes and new people that come in, like to just kind of embrace the program, because no matter what level, we've had NFL guys come in here, get ready for the draft, whatever the case may be, we will still sit our athletes on the floor and go through arm mechanics. 1 arm mechanic, 2 arm mechanic, we still do it, because I cannot tell you guys. Matter of fact, my last NFL client, he was a 3rd-round draft pick out of Notre Dame. I talked to him about running mechanics. No one's ever fixed any of his running mechanics, ever. You're talking about a 3rd-round draft pick from Notre Dame. So he's always been fast. So nobody wants to coach up and train the guys because they're already fast. And that's not the way we need to do things. As coaches, trainers, people in leading, roles or positions, it don't matter how explosive or how successful an athlete is. we need to do things the right way. So that's just the way we do it. All right. So the next one, you have a seat on the ground. Y'all can see me. Yeah. Perfect. All right. So what we'll do here is we'll go one arm. Okay. We're going to work on a one arm mechanic. And just for today, since it's just me and Ozzy, close. Since it's just me and Ozzy, let's just go 20 reps with the right arm, okay? And we do emphasize posture even when we're sitting here. So what we don't want is, we don't want to sit down and we have this slumped kind of upper back in the T-spine and thoracic area. We want to have good tension and good posture, because later we start working on the leg mechanics, all right? So that's going to work on the arm swing. So let's go 20 reps. We're going to put our arm in this 90-degree angle, okay? And we're just going to swing nice and smooth. Don't force it. Just nice and smooth swing. Just be relaxed, all right? So like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, all the way into 20, and just swinging through the shoulder girdle, all right? Cheek to cheek, basically, all right? Face cheek to butt cheek, all right? Cheek to cheek. Yep. Once you do that right side, we can go to the left side and then start swinging, doing the same thing, all right? Biggest mistake here is guys stiffening up and being too tight. You should just be able to relax and swing. If you have an athlete that's getting really tight, just have them pinch their thumb and index together, okay, so they can put the tension there, and then they can swing, and they might be, a little bit more comfortable, a little bit more relaxed somewhere, so we can put the tension somewhere.
Okay.
Cool. Both sides. All right. So now I might have to move us to get us back up. So we have a low ankling drill we're gonna do next, and I'm just kind of running y'all through some of the movements on our initial 3-day. When people get into the program, we take them through like 3 days to kind of get them, used to certain simple movements, so we can kind of put it all together later on. All right, so movement 2 on day 1 of speed school is basically a low ankling drill. It's one of my favorite drills because it gets the entire body warmed up, quick twitch through the hips. You work up a sweat. You can see I already got a little sweat going. All right, so our low ankling drill, we call it low ankling. You can call it quick straight leg runs. It really doesn't matter as long as we're executing the right thing. Get it down a little bit more. All right, so for this, we do like to move. So I'm gonna just kind of start over here as far as you can see me and kind of move across. So our low ankle, what we do is you want to stand up tall, and we talked about posture before. What we're gonna do is we're gonna go really quick, small, okay, straight leg runs, and strike the ground with the ball of the meat of your foot, not your toe, okay, not your toe, not your heel, but right here in the meat of the ball of your foot, all right, below the toes, okay? So when we strike the ground like that, that should propel and push us forward. Notice earlier we were working on straight leg kicks, and I talked about the posterior chain. That is what's going to cause the forward locomotion, all right? So these are our straight leg runs or our low ankling. We'll do them from 10, 20, or probably not no more than maybe 20 yards because it's really rapid, okay? So today you can just, hey, Ozzy, you can do this for maybe 10 yards to kind of get a feel for it. And it's just right here. And what I like to tell you guys is make sure you keep your arms straight when you're starting, because your legs will do what your arms do. Yeah, there you go. Yes, that's right. And on these quick straight leg runs or this low ankling drill, you really want to ramp it up. You really want to be fast. or quick. Let me say that. You really want to be really quick because we're not moving from point A to point B really fast. What we're doing is we're getting a bunch of reps in within that 5, 10, or 15 yards. It's like who can get the most reps in that time. Right. Yeah, that's why Ozzy training. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. That is what our quick straight leg runs look like. Biggest thing for any kind of teaching points again is posture and moving through the hip and striking the ground with the balls of our feet. All right. That's one of the big teaching points as far as that goes. And I'll kind of give you guys an example of some of the sets and reps. So if you were actually in the program for our single arm ground mechanics, we would have done 4 sets of 10 seconds each arm, okay? For low ankling, we would have done 3 sets of 15 yards, okay? With about a 30-second rest in between, all right? The next one is a high ankling. The high ankling gets us prepared to understand what sprinting is really, really all about. And it's about force. It's you got to put force in the ground to get your body to move forward. It's who can put the most force and marry it with great frequency. Okay. So for the high ankling again, we got good posture, standing tall. We're gonna swing those arms like we did earlier, and then when we strike the ground, we're gonna step through. But this can be tricky because the opposite leg is not doing anything but staying on the ground. So when I strike this foot, boom, that is picking my whole body off the ground, and I just swing this left leg through. It's stiff and dead. It doesn't do anything but swing through it. I'm gonna show you again. I'm gonna do some reps this way and come back. So high ankling. Coaching point, the biggest mistake people make is they want to force the swing. They want to force the swing. We're not running, it's not that much force. It's nice and smooth, okay? So let the leg swing through. The force that I put in the ground is gonna lift my body up as if it would if I was running. And then I just swing the leg through and I land flat-footed on that other side. Strike, swing. That's all it is. All right, so whenever you line it up, first thing you should do, squeeze that. Let's say we're gonna work the right leg. Stand tall and squeeze the heck out of your left quad. Squeeze it, damn near lock it out, okay? Raise this right knee up and strike. Keep squeezing that left quad the entire time and just walk it out. So let's get you, let's go 10 reps with the right leg, Ozzy. Okay, hey, not bad. Just switch your arms. Switch your arms. So pick your left arm up. When your right knee comes up, we need that left arm up when we swing through.
Okay.
Yes. Okay, left leg straight. Okay, not bad, not bad. That's better.
I get it. I get it.
Hey, I like the force. I'm hearing you striking the ground, and that's what we need.
Yeah, I get it.
Hey,
wow.
That's what we need right there. That's good. That's good. We just got to get better at controlling that other leg. And trust me, it takes a few sessions to really get a feel for having this one kind of loose and picking it up, and this one being really, really stiff. But it's just it's a progression. Everything that we do, it builds off of something else, because later on we'll do basically a running mechanic that's the same as this, so we can really dominate and hone in on one side at a time until we can put them both together. Okay. All right. So the next one after our high ankling is our choppy feet in place. All right. This is, again, kind of similar to our low ankling, just really trying to be twitchy trying to really wake up that central nervous system, okay? So the choppy feet in place, you'll just drop your hips a little bit, hips and knees slightly bent, chest over toes. And here, we want to make sure that we're not being really wide in our base, all right? Let's get our feet underneath our hips, and we're just going to be choppy in place, all right? And most of the time, we'll do this for time. We just do this for time because we can't do it for reps. It'd be hard to count those reps. We just do this for time, all right, in place. We might go anywhere between 10 to 12 seconds, all right? Max effort. Go ahead and try that out, Ozzy. Just in place, just be real choppy. Basically like a typewriter, just kind of picking your feet up on and off the ground and hitting it with the balls of your feet. Yes? Yeah, I hear you striking that ground too. That's good. All right, now what we're gonna do is we'll go a short distance because again, we wanna get a lot of reps in a short amount, or in a short distance. So we'll do a moving choppy feet. So again, we'll drop our hips and knees soft, chest over toes, and we'll move forward with our choppy feet.
Oh, wow.
You might go 3, 5, most of the time, no more than maybe 7 yards, all right? Because you will burn out, but we want to be as explosive and as twitchy as we can in that short distance. So let's try to move in choppy feet, Ozzy. Yeah, and it's hard not to move forward fast. It's tough. Only coaching point that I'll give you from here, Ozzy, is a little bit too upright. Here we're gonna be a little bit softer on the hips and knees. So let's take our chest down here over our toes, and then we can really pick up the hips because initially we're gonna work on drive phase. We talked about the progressions, right? This is going to be in more of that drive phase position, okay?
Gotcha.
So keep that in mind. That's better? That's a lot better.
Yeah, you want the hip to move or push.
That's a lot better. Yes. Ozzy, you got a little, hey, you got some twitchiness in there, man. I see you.
Some what? I'm old. There's no tweakiness left.
All right. So to the last thing that we have on a day one of speed school is a falling start. A falling start is just one of the skills that we teach for acceleration. It takes all of our twitchy movements and our high ankling and our straight leg kicks, kind of puts it all together into actual sprints. Just to kind of share this, like on our first 3 days, we're really trying to get you conditioned to sprint and not just conditioned. I could probably talk about that for about 6 hours straight, but I want y'all to understand, like when you're working on speed, you're working on speed and not, you're conditioning speed. Your body gets good at what it does. You know, you have to really think about the sport in rugby, like the distance traveled during the game. How many, do you guys know how many plays you average over 20 yards, like an explosive play per game?
I mean, we look at like how many tackles and how many runs you did,
Uh-huh.
and there's over 250 in one match alone.
In one match.
But I can't tell you in like 20 minutes, but
Okay.
up and down all the time.
All the time.
Yeah.
So you have to think like, but there are times where you need to be able to explode for 20, 30, 40, 50, 60 yards.
Yeah, absolutely, like an offload where I'm passing to you.
Right.
Yes, yeah.
Okay. So you guys have to program, you have to train for the sport specifically. Like the way we train, I train a track athlete might be a little bit different than our football guys. It just depends because a track athlete needs to have, you know, it needs to be explosive and all of their juice needs to be going for our short distance guys for as little as 9 seconds, 9, or as much as 12 or 13 if they're running the hurdles. You know, it just depends. But, you know, with rugby, you kind of have to have a little bit of both. That anaerobic endurance is important. So, you know, you might be kind of moving around the whole game and then there's an opening where you have 60 yards and you need to be able to call on that part of your nervous system, and your body needs to be able to respond. Nutrition plays a part of this as well. The types of carbs you guys eat, the amount of rest you're getting, how hydrated you are, all of this stuff plays a role. But at the end of our day one, we just do 8 reps on each leg of a falling start, and you get about 30 seconds of rest. As the program builds, you will get more rest at times when we're really and truly working on max velocity. Okay, right now we're trying to hammer in mechanics and kind of get you in shape. I treat it as if I don't know who you are. You could be in tip-top shape, or you could just be coming off the couch trying to learn how to sprint. Okay, but a falling start. Let me teach you this skill real quick. So the falling start. So let's say I'm running this way. What we'll do is you'll get up on your toes. Okay, you'll fall, lean out. But right before you feel like you're about to fall, like I just took a step. But right before you feel like you're about to fall, you will drive the knee and start running, okay? So this works on getting good body lean, good posture, and kind of forcing that fall out and working on forcing to the ground. So again, kind of give you a sample. You'll get up on your toes, you'll start falling, then boom, you start into your drive phase, all right? The first coaching point that I like to give to any athlete that's doing this is to get a strong, positive first step. What I see the most, especially with weaker athletes that aren't quite as strong, especially in the hip area, this is what you'll see. You'll be able to identify this really quickly. Or actually having a weak foot will actually cause this too, okay? But as they get up on their toes, once they start falling and they kind of fall down on that first step and then they start picking back up into their drive, it kind of gives me an idea of either I need to give them an external cue about striking the ground and having a strong force, or I need to pull back on that program and get them stronger unilaterally on each leg and hip, all right? So Ozzy, you can try that out real quick. Just get up on your toes. You're gonna fall out and then have a strong first positive step into a drive. And we'll do these from 10 to 20 to 30 to 40 yards long. Right now you got maybe 10 yards. You can try to do a little falling start. Yes.
I couldn't see that.
Oh, no, I saw the first step. That's all I really. Yes. Hey, and if you get a good, strong first step, then the rest of your steps can build off of that.
That's a weak step. Okay, I'll do better. Oh.
Yes. Yep. You said Ozzy or Riff?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
I think that last one was my best.
Yeah, I think so. Hey, and that's good. Another coaching point, I couldn't really see it, but I just want you to be aware of it. When you strike that ground on your first step, you don't want to be flat-footed. We want to strike with the balls of our feet, just like we did with our high ankling drill. And notice, you can have an eye for this. You can see power leaking out. If an athlete strikes the ball of their foot in the ground, boom, and that heel falls, that's power leaking out. Somewhere we have a weakness that we need to strengthen. Every time that foot strikes, that heel should not fall down, because once we start sprinting, all of that force and power that we put into the ground, we don't want any power leaking out. That'll also cause imbalances and injuries down the line. You know, if we're doing a whole bunch of that and you're constantly kind of seeing power leaking out, that can cause issues. So just be aware of that. Whenever you're falling out, strike that ground. Don't let that heel fall down, and be strong.
Okay.
Yep.
Wow.
All right. To end it, we'll always go through soft tissue work with our athletes. We teach them, different mobility exercises they can do with bands, foam rollers, or stretches. And that's why I'll ask all of our athletes, like, how are you feeling? How's your body? How does this feel today? Do you have any pain? It's important to know that. It's important to listen to you guys' body about that. And be smart, okay? Let's see. Just kind of give you guys an idea. So, yep, today, I think I had on the menu to target hip flexors and calves. If you haven't sprinted in a while, you might have your hip flexors might be tight after today, or, the calves might be a little sore. So we just want to pay some attention to those areas. You got any questions for me, Ozzy?
So you mentioned this is your sample of the first day.
Yeah.
And you're doing the seminar for the TRU. So should we try to sign up for all 3 sessions I think you had?
Yeah.
Is that the plan?
Yeah, I think it'd be good because there'll be some different skills that'll be taught on Wednesday, and then some different skills that'll be taught on Friday as well.
Okay. And you mentioned, I know you're in the Austin area, but how do you help out athletes who are in another city? Like, could you help for instance, like a college club in a different city, if they were to call you up and, they're high tech kids, they can probably figure it out, but is that something you can do remotely? I benefited from this little sample.
Yeah, what we do is, if they're close enough, I would like to try to drive out to see them, to do an assessment in person. And then what we do is we set them up on our app, and then we program their dynamics and warm-ups and sprints and their speed work and their cool down on the app. So we have it all trained up on the app. They have videos, and we have videos and how-to, and we do live YouTube, and we do a lot of different stuff to kind of interact and see. But if they're close enough, we like to drive out there if it's a team and actually do an in-person assessment. That way we have a good idea of, what the athletes are looking like individually, and then we just move from there.
Okay. And how far do you drive? Do you drive across Texas, I guess?
Yeah, we've gone up to close to the Dallas area to do stuff for teams. It just depends. Yeah, everything's negotiable, right?
Okay, great. Well, this has been great, man. It was quite a surprise.
Yeah. Go ahead.
I just wanted to show.
We
can share it, but here's what he did today on day 1, so you guys can see what a normal day 1 would be, and then you can get a glimpse of what day 2 will be as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
but the names are I've heard these things before, but watching you teach it is a whole nother world. So this is amazing. And I thought I knew how to do some of these drills just from being around for 30 years of doing sports, but this is, man, you're really good at teaching this. Thank you for your time.
I'm glad you learned something. That's my biggest thing, man. It's just trying to educate and then apply, so we can be healthy and be explosive. That's what we need. So, but I can send a snapshot or a picture or something of the day 1, and then you can send it, and we can get it posted. And then if y'all don't have anything else for me, man, I'll see y'all on Wednesday.
Wednesday and Friday.
Thanks for your time.
All right, appreciate it.